Welcome back to another Hot Dab Sessions presented by Resin Evolution in sunny San Diego. We are here as always joined by Dr. Darby.
Yo.
And today we are here for a very special edition of a Resin Mania 3 recap.
It was off the hook and goddamn.
Number one!
That is one way you could explain it off the hook and goddamn. So today we're going to talk us all the way through from the beginning, the setup, the empty building, to the event, the gas lamp killer, the wrestling, to the final closure of the doors. It was one night only, one night never to forget, one night you will always remember. But I think first, Darby, we need to start the only way we know how.
Taking a dab.
Yes, sir. But for our first dab, we have a very special treat. If you look at the table today, we're not just going to be smoking any resin. We're going to be smoking resin from Resin Mania. Now, Dr. Darby, you went to the show. You were helping me. You were working. We were doing commentating. We were setting up. But in the meantime, you had some time to go out, mingle, and scoop some terps, right?
Absolutely. You know, you got to keep the money in the homies' hands to support the people that support you. It was a lot of work to get it done, and, you know, we couldn't have done it without every single sponsor. So we're really happy that everyone got to make it, and it turned out as great as it did.
Shout out all the vendors that made the event possible. Today, we're going to walk through a couple of the flavors. We're not going to open them all because Resin Evolution is going to have an exclusive Resin Mania unboxing, but we will do a few previews of a couple of our favorite flavors. So Darby, why don't you go ahead and pick the first jar that we're going to be dabbing on today?
I mean, I'm going to have to go right in the middle.
Now, this is the one jar Resin Evo told us we shouldn't dab.
I know.
So we're just going to show it off. Big shout out to Pure and Proper. This is our biggest sponsor, our premier sponsor for the night. It wouldn't have been possible without them, but they're also one of the best companies in the world. Not just California, not just America, all of the world, placing third place in flower at the Ego Clash Barcelona, second place in rosin at the NorCal Ego Clash. These guys kill it, especially with their Z. This is the Super Z. These are some guys that know what it takes. This is a Kamikaze crossed to Skittles, live rosin 90 to 120U. Shout out Casey, shout out Buddha, shout out the whole crew up there that brings it together. We really appreciate the ones that put on for the community, for the culture, and not the vultures. And this is a real one right here.
Absolutely.
But since we're saving this one,
I got to smell it, though, and it was so fire. It's worth every single penny that you could pay for it.
every penny. All right, I'll pick the jar since Darby's too stoned to remember what we were supposed to. Jar number one, Swollen Heads Hash Co.
Damn.
This is going to be something very special from my boy Tito. Hashtag where's Tito? You never know. But today we know what we're smoking on. This is a honey banana cooler mix. Now, honey bananas is that crazy keeper pheno from NorCal that everybody loves. We got second place People's Choice with the honey banana mix with the Z at the Smoking Jacket last year.
Yeah.
But this one is actually a blend. It blends very well with flavors. This is a blend between honey bananas and banana cooler. Banana cooler being from Masonic Genetics, another guest of the show, another friend of the show.
He always has winning genetics, too.
So shout out Mace, award-winning genetics. You can scoop those over at his website. And as we show off this jar, let me pull up the QVC cam. Let's see if it's going to work for us today. Sometimes it likes to throw fits, but there's still a little bit of Resin Mania electric in the air, so hopefully it'll work with us. Swollen Heads Hash Co., hailing out of Trinity, California, but this guy hunts terps from all over the world. Big Grateful Seeds pheno hunter, and this was second place from the Barcelona edition of the Legends of Hash. That competition was presented in partnership with Terps Army. Bubbleman threw that out there, and the competition in America has kind of gotten somewhat of not a bad name, but it's not necessarily a competition that has the hype it once did. Crack the jar, immediately you're met with a sweet explosion of aroma. The flavor, I'm sure, is gonna carry that same smell. It's like fresh bananas, almost like being cooked into like a banana bread. It almost has a little bit of a more savory effect than pure banana. Go ahead and smell that.
Oh, and it looks wet too.
Super wet. Now, there's also been a debate in the hash community. You can't get your hash wet, or you can't get it to settle to the bottom of the jar without applying heat. But as it's pretty evident here, this is a wet hash, and I'm fairly certain Tito did not apply any heat. As you can also see, it's nucleating. It's sugaring on itself.
Oh my gosh, that's
So
loud.
some terpenes just want to sugar up. This is beautiful. So we're going to go in on a nice dab of this off our Resin Bros official dabbers.
Thanks, Resin Bros.
Thanks, Resin Bros. Got to see them over at Resin Mania.
That was cool.
Wow, look at that consistency. This is phenomenal. Easy to see how it could take second place. Surprised it didn't take first. Must have been some fire over there.
Probably Z that took first.
Maybe. This is not Z Terp, so if it did get second in an area where Z usually reigns supreme, it just speaks highly for how good it is.
Testament to the Terps.
But this is not about Spanibus. We already did that recap. This is about Resin Mania.
And if you didn't watch it though, go check out the Spanibus recap.
Spanibus recap, link up above. Going in on a Toro slide, so I'm gonna have to heat mine up a little bit longer probably than you.
Yeah. It is a tall boy though.
You have that double XL Toro. That is the Hot Dabs edition. Shout out Toro for sponsoring Hot Dabs. For the tastiest quartz, you know you need to use Toro glass.
You've tried the rest, now smoke with the best. Toro glass. Alright, I'm at 680. They got me with a steamy 700 right as the last match was going on.
I saw that.
They dragon clouded me. It was a 700.8.
I saw that, but we can't jump that far ahead, Darby.
Oh.
Let's start all the way at the beginning
Sorry,
of
Patreon,
the
don't tell
event.
anyone.
So let's see if I can pull up my images. And so here's how we started the show. We walked in and the building was completely empty, and I immediately started setting up our seating chart to make sure that all the seats were gonna fit. So one thing I will admit is when I originally set up the seating chart and all the booths, I did it all with a ruler, so I laid them all out. But then when I got there the day before, I realized, oh, I'm gonna have to adjust some of these sections, scoot them farther down. So as soon as we got at the venue, 10:30 a.m., we started setting up the chairs to make sure we knew the area around the ring.
We're gonna make an adjustment here.
Was gonna be good. So this is the first picture of the day. We started with an entirely empty Optimus Studio. So this is Optimus Studio located over beside USC campus. Shout out Britt, Better Call Britt, for finding the venue for us. It was an amazing venue and the first time it's been activated for a cannabis event like this.
It was huge.
It was huge. The capacity was over 1,000 people, like 1,800. But when we set it all up with the ring and the vending space, we cut that in half. So we ended up having about 800 people there. Completely sold out Resin Mania 3. So after we arrived, me and my small crew of about 6 people, including Small Batch Sam, his brother, Dre, Brandon, we all started setting up the chairs. And shout out to my friends that helped us. A lot of the vendors, they got there early. Shout out Rising Moon. Shout out Pedro with Master Ball Melts. They were there helping us. It was a real community event. Everybody knew what it meant to be there, to be putting on for the plant and for the good intentions within our community. There's a big divide between the industrialization and the community. A lot of people are in it for the money. They're in it to just deplete the culture or vulture it as much as they can. Other people are a part of it because this culture, this community, this plant has attracted us to it for one reason or another, whether it's a medical benefit or whether it's changed your life or it's given you an opportunity for a career. Some people do cherish it and care about it more than others.
Agreed. The desire to stay in the community and uplift and progress the community is the real difference. We're out here doing our best to keep the industry alive, craft, and give it a next level to attain to, whereas, you know, just milking the cow isn't really what we're here for.
Not here to milk the cow. Here's a little video of Jerry. Did you miss it?
What up, Jer?
Valley Grove was in the house. This was the beginning when the scissor lifts were being used to set up the lighting above the ring. So we brought in third-party lighting and audio, so we had to hang it all the day of the event above the ring, as well as the ring came in and we had to have that set up. Shout out EWF, Empire Wrestling Federation, for helping us with the ring, bringing some talent. This is what it looked like in the beginning, just setting up the seats, getting the projections on point. Shout out Anton from Optimus for running the projections for us for the night. It really took the experience to the next level.
And talk about next level, dude. It was so bright and beautiful. I can't wait for you guys to see the pictures of how it was when it was all lit up.
All lit up indeed. This is again when they're just starting to get everything set up before the banners are hung. This is the corner where the RDR booth was with the Godfather. The main heel himself, Zicky Dice, decided to show up. Look at him. Always
Late as
causing
usual.
trouble. About 2 hours late, almost missed the entire show. There's Lince Dorado. That's my guy right there. Lince put on an incredible show. So these guys are professional wrestlers from all around the United States. We flew them out because we recognized their talents and we thought they fit well with our brand. Lince Dorado is one of my favorite theme musics. It's Lucha Lit, so he comes out bumping the blunt. And next we have a beautiful piece of artwork. So this was the second annual RDR art show. And as many people know, last year it was Dirty Bird and Jedi Jack Yeti that was featured. This year is once again Dirty Bird, but this is Lot Comedy. Lot Comedy blessed us with this 20 or 25 foot long mural, completely customized for the event. He was working on this all week long, and it just has so many elements that really speak for the culture. He's an artist in the truest sense that he does commentary on our culture, on our environment, on the socioeconomic impacts of everything that goes on when it comes to hash, marijuana.
Definitely so many relevant inside jokes that the 1%ers and the 0.1%ers can resonate with, if you will. A lot of people are like, I don't get it. Certain people do, though, and it's really funny because he does a lot of great artwork, and to see something in such a large scale, you never see pieces that big.
No, you don't. This is one of his largest pieces. He did another installment similar to this for Ego Clash, but this was my favorite piece that he has ever made, and we were lucky enough to end up taking it home.
Thanks a lot, Comedy.
Here's it in its full entirety. So here's just to go through it. Don't fed on me, like don't tread on me. This is sticking up for ourselves, not allowing corporate interest or lobbyists to take over our culture and try to create false narratives. We got the Too Hot on the dabber. As we all know, that's our favorite tent to go in at. We got Hack Show Jim Duggan down at the bottom with the D2T. If anybody knows Hacksaw, he's a legendary wrestler, but also a legendary stoner, some might not realize. Help, beware those who seek to use me to further their careers and brands instead of use their careers or brands to further me. And we're talking about the plant. This has been the theme of the event, the theme of our livelihoods, is knowing who to recognize actually cares about the plant, cares about what we're doing, and who is just here to collect a paycheck and to turn you into a consumer.
Community over industry.
And never a vulture over the culture. Up top, we have Mean Gene, aka Meme Gene Okerlund. He says, dab responsibly, eat healthy, listen to the plants, not the corporations. Glowies for Kobe. We got a little jar of I promise it's 90U, cross my heart, hope to die. Because as we all know, it's always 90U, never ever anything but. Hype, no. Wave, no. Motion, what? Relevance, don't need it. Just don't be lazy. A lot of people like to use all this jargon. It's bussin', that fool's lit. Like,
no cap.
No cap. But over here, we're just saying, don't be lazy, put in the work, and the results will follow. Look at this Undertaker. Now, we all know 650 to feel alive. 6'6". Oh, right there. 666 to feel alive. This is the Undertaker, aka the Undertoker. Up above, it's all fair in wrestling and hash. Look at the Macho Man with the hash on the glasses. So many small elements of this piece that are just, these could all be their own portrait.
That's what I mean. There's like 50 portraits in one. I love the trophy right there.
The trophy, you might not be able to read it, but it says blah 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 blah, single source Skittles. And we got Jimmy Superfly Snuka jumping off of the fucking Skittles first place trophy. Welcome to LA, where hash is worth more than powder. Think he knows more. Think he
Welcome to
knows
LA.
what he's meaning there. Drop acid, not bombs. Dreams come true when you don't sleep. That is a quote from Virgil. And then right below it, eat, sleep, hash. So you need to choose one or the other. Your dreams are going to come true, or you're going to eat, sleep, and hash, but you can't do both. Or can you? It's the
No social
yin-yang.
life.
Resin Mania with the main logo. Look, we're only halfway through this, folks. This is crazy. That's an impressive amount of hash. That's what everybody said about the vendors that were at the event. LA with the hash around it. LA Dodgers, listen to the plants. Hash collector, something that I consider myself not a public figure. I'm just a hash collector. Grow Freeze Wash, that's the name of the game. Thank you for making hash. Got to show appreciation. Look at this one. This might be my favorite part right here.
That's a great one right there. I was impressed.
It's a crazy one. We got JR with a Bluetooth mushroom in front of him with the evolution of mankind from a chimp to a paddle boy. And then it says, I am sorry the temp of my dab offends you. There's been some rumors circulating that Cannabis Chris, if he sees you go live and dabbing his stuff at above 600 degrees, he gets pissed off.
He's going to cancel you.
He's going to be pissed. So it just says, I am sorry if the temp of my dab offends you. Because, Chris, we're not trying to offend you. We just like to dab the resin at the temps we like. So it's not your temp, it's my temp. If I give consent, I'm going to take it hot. Does your family know you're a hashish influencer?
They do now.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah? Did they see the podcast? They're like,
yeah.
Oh, that's my son.
They sent me pictures.
And then finally, have you talked to your banger today? Which is what I think we need to do right now, Darby, because we got the Hash Miser, the Heat Miser from my favorite cartoon, the Claymations as a kid. This guy likes it hot. I like it hot. I think after seeing all that lot comedy art, I need a dab. What do you think?
That's a lot of comedy right there. And I think that was a great piece and ready for another flavor.
Did you just say that's a lot of comedy, or you said that's a lot comedy? Because I was going to say that is a lot of comedy, and is that where the name comes from? No, I think it's from being on the lot. He has comedy, and I think next we need to go in with something that's a little familiar to ourselves.
I like it. Some real deal resin. That's what I'm talking about.
Have you heard of it?
Maybe once or twice. I heard it.
So we got two choices here from Real Deal Resin, and they are both of the single source variety. We can go in on Gaseoso number 10 or Anomaly number 20.
Drop a comment what you want to see us smoke.
All right, they said Gaseoso.
Perfect. That's what I was waiting for.
Gaseoso number 10. Thanks for voting at home.
We appreciate you contributing your opinion to the podcast. Patreon, you're better than everyone. Just got to remind you.
All right, so as we get this open, this Gaseoso number 10 is going to be a cross between kombucha and gassy taffy.
What's kombucha?
Oh, kombucha is from Symbiotic Genetics. I can't think of what that cross is right now.
Symbiotic's fire.
But it is like fermented like gas.
That's what I'm talking about.
Check this out.
The funky bunch.
Look at how wet that is. Look at how white that is.
Yeah, that's looking good. Some nice big.
And this is fresh out the jar. These are not prop jars. These are jars that go out to the public. This one is actually from Rosin Evo's head stash himself. He said he doesn't smoke enough, so he needs friends that smoke more. So here we are to get the job done. We're going in on some Gaseoso number 10. Now, we did a pheno hunt of this, so we had a couple different phenos. I think my favorite was Gaseoso number 20. It just has these crazy... This has a tiny hint of lime, but the number 20 is coming in like wild lime zest, and it's mixed with that gas. So this one is going to taste amazing. Going in on a pretty good-sized dab because we're going in on the Toro slide. So it's going to slowly trickle down, almost like making coffee, to keep giving myself a bigger hit as I go.
Yeah, that thing's a brain rocker right there.
All right?
So you were enjoying the show walking around, right? Before the matches started, right?
No, I didn't get to enjoy very much of the show. I enjoyed it all, but I was working the entire time. From the very time I got there, we set up the chairs. We made sure the ring was in the right placement. From there, we immediately went into setting up the vendor tables, making sure they were placed. From there, I was helping get my own booth ready, having all that product, the merch all ready. From there, it was immediately almost 4 o'clock. Gates were opening at 4:30. I think I sat down for like 15 minutes with my dogs.
You didn't even get to eat
I didn't get to eat. We didn't eat until 4:30. Like, we ordered a couple burgers from Stuck Up. Shout out Stuck Ups for coming to the event and vending.
That was fire.
Really
Thanks,
good
Stuck Up.
burgers. Yeah.
Definitely worth it.
So throwing an event it's a really satisfying feeling when it comes together. And especially when people leave happy, there's almost no better feeling in the world. Like, I remember when I would play sports, if your team would ever win a championship and you just wake up with that euphoric feeling, like it's still going on. That's kind of how Resin Mania feels for me. Just knowing how much joy it creates.
Dude, the event was electric. You could feel the energy, the people walking around with smiles on their face, just like you don't know where to go next, because everywhere you go, every booth, every vendor was just like the absolute 0.1%ers of the industry. So you're just blown away with not just the variety and options in front of you, but just the ability to bring it all in one place at the same time and present it as cleanly as it was presented. It was just such an amazing execution of Terps and wrestling and the community all at once. And everyone was blown away.
I appreciate that, Darby. But that is a good point you bring up, is it's not just the wrestling, it's not just the DJ, the music. It's the culmination of the people that we bring together that all care so much about the plant. All solventless brands, all people of very high quality. There was no just big corporate mids there. And it was evident in the audience that was curated, because I could not have asked for more respectful.
Look behind us. Look at the signs we have. Eats corn the long way. And Zicky Dice is getting fucked by P. Diddy.
Patient, grateful people. Every Resinmania, to be honest, has been like this. The people that come are so amazing, and I'm so grateful for the community that comes out.
Agreed.
And all the brands for participating. It helps bring these people. Maybe somebody hasn't heard of Real Deal Resin or Pure and Proper, but they do know Master Ball Melts or Moon Melts or Resin Ranch, Puff and Solventless. Somebody will come for one brand and meet 2 to 3 new brands. And that's what the purpose of this is. We're not caring about competition. We're trying to strive for collaboration, in the sense that if you work hard and you're creating something that you enjoy, there's a good chance other people will enjoy it. So you don't need to be worried about being in competition against others, because your vibe will attract your tribe. So when we can create these areas or these settings where we can bring in more of this tribe to culminate and share each other's audiences, create new audiences with people that might not know about it. A rising tide lifts all ships, and that's what we're trying to do. Is we are all in this small batch, niche, high quality solventless community. Instead of bickering amongst each other, we need to find a way to support each other and raise everybody up, because the more we win together, the more we will win as a whole in the industry.
Couldn't have said it better myself. You know, you want to eat with the team, not compete with your team. And everyone there was on a, sharing, uplifting community vibe, to where you're not in competition with anyone there. Everyone there is fire. They've done their best, provided their best. And people go there to enjoy all of those products, not just one.
Yeah, and there was no bad vibes, honestly. Anywhere there was no bickering, there was no booths that didn't get along. I didn't have to move anybody because they were going to fight if they were beside each other.
So we even had people that ran other competitions in there enjoying the show, just because it was such an amazing event.
Yeah.
Sneaking in.
I had a few friends that throw their own competitions that were there. The biggest compliment for me, I'll get into this at the end, but how many people just came up and shook my hand and said thank you for throwing something like this. And then afterward, how many people hit me up and said it was the best event they've ever been to. Words can't describe the feeling you get from, man, I've been planning this with my friends for like 4 months, this specific event, booking wrestlers. I've had wrestlers' flights booked for 4 months, like audio, lighting, everything that comes together, even the last minute things. We got the projections booked the day before the event,
I like this guy. I like him. I like the cut of this guy's gym. I think that's Pablo Escobar over there.
That really leveled up everything.
It did.
And just having everyone come through and take care of their, vending and everything, getting there on time, and
Shout out the ones that did get there on time, actually, because not everybody did. So I didn't care. We're laid back, and when Resin Mania is in the air, crazy shit happens, and that's to be expected. It's part of the fun. It's part of the spectacle. There's electric in the air.
All came together.
Resin Mania, I arrive, and I have my crew gets to the Airbnb, and I'm having a meeting the day before with the lighting and audio guy about how we want to set up the lights, entrances, all this stuff. A lot of planning goes into all this. Meanwhile, my crew is to the right of me. Unbeknownst to me, my right-hand man for the next day, who's supposed to be working the door, gets given his first dab of his life by my other guy who's supposed to be helping. They drove from NorCal all the way down to help us. Shout out. I'll keep them nameless for now. Here. He gives my right-hand man for the next day his first dab of his life. He goes outside. I just hear them saying, "Hey, is blah 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 okay?" And he's like, "Oh no, I'll go check on him." He's like, "Yeah," he says he's okay. So the light guy finishes up and he leaves, and I go outside to grab like a DoorDash, and my homie's just sitting under a tree, like looks like he's
contemplating
tripping.
life.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Hey man, are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm just like, he's not okay. And I was like, "Do you need some water?" He's like, "Yeah." So I go get him a water, and then I find out these guys just gave him his first dab, and he's having an existential breakdown crisis, man.
He doesn't need some water. He needs a cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's what I tried to give him a brownie to get some sugar in him or something.
Eat your way out of that hole, brother.
It was bad. It was like an edible high. He came in and was like staggering. He could barely walk. Like he didn't know if he was alive. It was like that cop that called the cops on himself and was like, "Hey, we're dying. We ate this brownie."
They're like, "You're high, dog."
It was crazy. So that was 10 minutes within getting to the Airbnb. So when I'm saying Resin Mania has an effect, like it's Resin Mania.
In the air.
When shit happens, you just say, it's Resin Mania.
Well, people got to understand, this is the best of the best, the 0.1 percenters. They're not bringing their second shelf. They're bringing the top shelf right now.
Yeah, they're not bringing any mids. Like Darby just said, these are not just hash makers, which already pride themselves on what they're creating. These are like the best hash makers. And I'm not saying that people that weren't there aren't great. We tried to include as many people as we could. We doubled how many brands we could bring in this year because I quadrupled the venue.
People are happy to get a smaller booth space to get more people in because everyone was just happy to have everyone there. It's not about big production value. Because
it's about having the fire.
Yeah.
It's about what you have in your jar.
Putting the production
My
on.
friend specifically, Simi, said, "Bro, thank you so much. Like, I have never been like more successful at just having a table."
That's a cool jar.
And this is a really cool jar. Shout out Simi. We're not gonna smoke this one. We're gonna save it for Rosin Evo. I don't want to smoke his whole stash today. He just got it. It's like Christmas morning. We're gonna open up all his presents.
Yeah.
This is
We are.
Grape Boof. So I'm gonna guess this is the grape gas with super boof. This is from Will Ards. Simi Master Ball melts. Good attitude, always high quality stuff.
Right.
Great packaging. He loves Pokemon. Fun fact. You see that logo right there?
Yeah.
You see that Pikachu right there?
Pikachu inside that ball. Yeah, I see it.
You see what that Pikachu's hitting right there?
Is that a Basso? Is that a Basso we've seen before?
That is a Basso, and guess what Basso it is?
Which one? Why don't you tell me? Put it all the way down. They'll zoom it in.
That's my Basso.
That's his Basso.
Simi put my bong in his logo before we ever even met. And then once he won Ego Clash second place, I saw his logo, and I was like,
"Hey, bro.
Hey, man.
It's a nice looking,
I'm going to have to hit you with a cease and desist."
My brand.
So, Simi, this is your
Big dog.
official notice, big dog. 40% is going to be 100% if you don't get this bong out the logo, big dog. Because
Big
this
dog.
IP... We all know Simi had a little spat with Tricom Tortoise, and he sued him over big dog
Big
status.
suing.
Literally, big dog status trademark. But today, we have a big IP status.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably how he got like the street cred.
That's probably how he got second place.
They're like, they knew the jar. They're like,
This
that-
tastes like there was a Basso on the logo.
that's the flavor I was tasting.
I think this tastes like there's a Basso on the logo.
We got a couple of these guys over here.
Oh, what's this you're pulling out? Now, Darby, you did the shopping. Can you explain to me your strat? Holy shit, okay. So you scooped 4 jars from Resin Ranch. What made you go so heavy on the Double R brand? I know I love it, but tell me your strategy behind the event. And what did you see out there? Was there a lot of fire?
I mean, there was nothing but fire. Like, I went through and opened every single jar that was on display at every single table, and realistically, I was looking through and saying, what's the best stuff that's going to go on camera? What's the best looking stuff that you think is the best stuff that you would want us to be trying out? I know what I was smelling, but Resin Evolution had a pre-made list already of everyone that he wanted. After, you know, we added so many to the venue, we kept adding more as we were going through, but to find everyone and hit everyone with them being free to talk about it was a tough order, and we did our best. But Resin Ranch always takes care of us. They always have great representation of our products at Resin Evolution, and they're really a big supporter of ours. And with the flavors and the fire that they're always coming out with, to not support and get as many jars as possible when they're local is, you know, a big miss.
Yeah, so you gotta support Resin Ranch. He's from up there in NorCal, so like you said, when they're down in SoCal, it is rare. But that's why we love Todd, man. He makes it a point to come down for Resin Mania.
Yes, he does, and he brought his fucking fire. He's brought his best stuff out.
So let's see what we have. Oh, the first one. This is like a Pokemon poll. It's a Skittles.
Yeah.
And this one I saw he specifically packaged a little bit more last minute just for the event.
You got to.
What do we eat? Dosi Papaya.
Oh, that's nice.
Tallimon.
It was funny because he walked up and he's like, "Oh, we're all sold out of the Tallimon," and then he pulls out a couple of jars and hands them to me. I'm like,
And they're Tallimon. And the last one, Super Boof. Now I love these bottom logos from Resin Ranch. And the Skittles has actually been censored out.
that might be
710
something.
Labs literally just got sued for that. So maybe a good call there.
that was smart.
So what do you think? Let's try one of these. If you had to pick one of these jars, Tallimon, Super Boof, Skittles, or Dosi Papaya.
I mean, between you and me, I think it would be a very good judge to see how fire that Skittles is.
You want to try the Skittles?
Absolutely.
Now, Todd gave us one of our biggest compliments ever a couple months back at Hash Vegas. He said we had the best Z he has ever tried.
That's a big compliment.
That's the biggest compliment you could possibly have. But this smells incredible. This, honestly, smells the most like a crushed actual Skittle that I've ever smelled in my life. You know,
That's
like
what
when
we're
you
going
crush
for.
it? Oh my God.
Todd, my guy. That's what I'm talking about.
I need to smell the rest of these. Oh my God, here. Super Boof. Oh my.
Great job.
Jeez. The Tallimon is gassier than most phenos I've smelled.
Wow, that's a good one.
The Dosi Papaya is beautiful.
I'm excited about all these.
How's it look?
Great job, Todd. Fire. I'm definitely glad we were able to get some flavors.
Beautiful job all around. All hitters.
And there's another one I forgot to bring. He had a jammed out Tallyman also. And we had to keep it upright, so it was in the terp bag. Didn't bring it in.
Had to keep it upright. You gotta
Keep it
respect the
upright.
terps.
Yeah.
So today Darby picked some Skittles to go in on. I like your taste, Darby.
Dude, this is a win. I'm psyched on this one. And after Spain, I know our palate for Skittles has been refined, and we're pretty happy about this one.
I'm never not happy about a Skittles.
I feel bad every time I pick a Skittles too, because everyone's like, really, that's the one you picked? Absolutely. That's the one I picked. Going straight for the fucking creme de la creme.
Speaking of creme de la creme, we had some of the best wrestlers in the world on display at Resin Mania, including one of the legends, WWE Hall of Famer himself, the Godfather. Sarah, if you pull up my phone, we'll show people. Shout out Sticker Plug LA for hooking us up with a killer sponsorship that they supplied all of our prints, all of our banners, including these life-size cutouts.
Those were so cool.
Super cool. Look at that. The Godfather beside the Podfather, we called him, because he'll smoke a pod here or there, but he's got a basso, a clear basso in his hand, the hash on the rings, the Godfather in the house. So the Godfather actually came and helped me and Darby commentate the wrestling action.
That's right.
It was kind of a dream come true, wasn't it?
Ref, we asked for a different ref and we got it. This is our Vince McMahon shit. Nothing's going down at Resinmania that we don't want to.
I was blown away. I was like, no way, this is happening. Even my friends were like, dude, really? I'm like, yeah, this is what's my life right now.
Steamed from outside. So shout out everybody who came. Like I said, I can't thank you guys enough for how polite, patient, generous, courteous everybody was. Helpful. Everybody lending a hand. You guys are amazing.
It was a beautiful experience. It really was a testament to what the community is still.
Look at that line.
Dang.
Resin Mania.
Everyone ready for fire terps.
One of our pieces of art that came broke.
It's okay, now it's worth double.
Here's my boy Growing with Justin, who made us these shirts. I didn't even have any time myself to make specific Resin Mania shirts, so shout out my friends that did. It was funny, a lot of the vendors had the sickest merch. Shout out Sly Fox with the custom branded jars that had the Lucha mask that match our Lucha on their Fox. That was amazing.
Sick, the Sly Fox.
Shout out Scotty's Exotics that had the NWO rip, and it said Resin Mania. The white and black attack.
Yeah,
those
that
are
one was
sick.
cool. They were over there in the doorway.
This one was awesome. Shout out Triple OG. He made a Resin Mania hoodie, white hoodie. It said Resin Mania in block letters, and it had like an old Hogan scene battling like Andre the Giant in the block letters.
Imagine everyone's able to bring their own Resin Mania merch.
That's what I'm saying. People get into it. It is an experience.
Dude, that's sick.
So here's Justin. He with these custom shirts he made over in Missouri, and he brought out to the event the Benzo-matics from the top rope.
On the Puffco.
On the Puffco.
Sorry.
And then we had a sign contest. So this year we offered an RDR care package and $200 cash to whoever had the best sign. And we picked them at the end of the night.
There were some good ones.
There it is. So this dude paid his babysitter and reclaimed to be there. I love that one. This is Adam. Look at him. The Ilkster.
Dang, Mr. L showed up.
The Ilkster. So this was the opening 2 hours. So this is when everybody was coming in. The super heads were there in line, and they grabbed the VIP terps because they got in 30 minutes early. A lot of people stayed all the way until the wrestling action. Some people came through, grabbed the best terps, and it was like, I got to go get in Masonics line, or I got to go rest because we're doing free seed day the next day.
Hey,
so it was a hell of a weekend. Yeah, shout out.
Hey, you can't forget the terps though. You got to come through.
You got to come through. They came through for the best terps. The next day they can start their growing career with some free seeds Mace putting on. I saw they even had clones out there. They had dirt to put the clone in right on
just
site.
the network you were able to bring in one household or under one roof. Like, there's no way that any of these single people out there could just hit every single one of these spots in any kind of timely fashion with these type of terps ever. It's like a dream come true.
That's true.
There's
I didn't
no
think
way.
about that.
Dude,
I really underestimate that. Like, back in my day, if somebody had this for me to go get terps, I'd be there.
Like, what the fuck? How do like I
didn't
even
think
know
about
this
that.
was so much
Yeah.
fun. And that's where you got to.
They're all in the just. You could take one lap around and meet.
Everyone's credible.
Yeah.
Everyone's verified. Everyone's the creme de la creme, and it's just like, are you kidding me? This is a fucking 0.1%er event. Yeah, and there's wrestling too, and you're like, what the fuck?
Darby.
Better than competition.
It is
Better than
a
competition.
competition because
Absolutely.
it's all collaboration. Yeah.
Collaboration
We're all
over
hanging out.
competition.
Yeah. There was a ton of collabs. We had a collab drop with Valley Grove, 5 different flavors.
That was
Custom
sick.
Resin Mania wraps. We had a collab drop with Flying O Farms, 5 different
A couple
flavors.
people pulled it out of the pocket. I got the Resin Mania drop jar. I
The
was
Resin
like,
Mania drops were
where
sick.
did that come from?
We had the custom single source Z that got 3rd in Masters of Rosin with the Lord of the Rings wrap.
Oh, yeah.
We only had
International.
38 jars of those. That all gone.
Every single person that came up was chilling with small batch for like 10 minutes. Could I get the winner? Could I get the winner? I'm like, oh, jeez.
It was a good night. So here we can finally get to some of the wrestling action. But man, yeah, I underestimate that. If you're ahead next year and you're looking for some of the best smoke, and guess what? The following week is 420.
Yeah.
I don't know when we're going to drop this. It might be before 420, but
Doesn't matter, you know?
it happened 8 days before 420. So if you're trying to get head stash,
Yeah, well, and it's like not like you're not putting the people on the flyers. You can go hit those people up and say, hey, can I do a pre-order? Can I do something? Can I drop a deposit to make sure these flavors are available?
this is for the Patreon.
Patreon only.
Patreon only. Patreon only. If you're in the Patreon, you can get some real tech out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Take over your industry. Take over your city.
All right, so as we heat up, I'm going to play the video of how the wrestling started. It all started off with WWE Hall of Famer Godfather coming out and giving a little introduction. Sarah, you don't have audio in your headphones, do you? Okay. I can put it over, yeah.
There's me and my JR. Get up.
That's the belt.
The belt was sick.
Resinmania Championship belt. Speaking of, we got it right here beside us. Right beside Darby.
Keep it away from Zicky, though. That guy's fucking got sticky fingers.
Yeah, we'll get to who won it, but yeah, we're keeping it for safekeeping because we're going to Mexico October 12th. So we just wanted to make sure it's going to land there safely.
The goods.
First of all, thank you guys for having me here. This is the best shit in the world, man, to think. I never thought in my lifetime I would see stuff like this happen, so it's so cool, man, because I've been telling people to smoke for a long time. For a long time. So it's an honor to be here, man. I gotta be careful, I'm like 15 dams in already.
These Toro bangers hold the heat for a while.
Big time.
I wasn't paying attention for a minute. I checked it again. It was still over 600. I was like, wow. Good job, Toro. You guys always kill the game and appreciate all the support. These are fire, and I'm honored to be able to chief out of these on a regular basis.
Here's Tortuga. This guy was actually awesome.
I think that's my new favorite wrestler from that whole event. There are some great wrestlers and some very athletic, masters at what they do, but this guy was just hype.
That guy was sick. Here's Darby. Cowboy hat. Light show.
Dude, those lights are fire. I can't believe this light show was going on in there.
Look at him. Like an angel.
It was
You
beautiful.
look like Walker, Texas Ranger with the Godfather ripping dabs.
Just two legends watching wrestling.
This was a show from the side of the ring where we were doing the commentating. Sold out show, standing room only. And that fight came to us at some point. A few points, actually.
Yeah, it got treacherous. We had to move the rig off the table quick. Those sons
Quick.
of bitches.
You had to watch your glass. You had to watch your ass because these guys were coming in fast.
That's good.
This is a match between the Breeze, who's the guy with the noodle. Look at him noodling it up.
He was good.
Versus Dabla Cara. I
Double
believe
Dragon.
double mask, right?
Double mask. Tell us in the
Tell us in the
comments
comments what it means. But this dude returned from Resin Mania 1, in which he had an awesome match. So we brought him out, and the Breeze came blowing through, trying to pick up the gust. And this was a fucking match that went all through the arena. Almost took out the commentator's table. Kept going. Kept going. Came all the way back around.
But then again, what a great show for the people.
It was. It's very interactive. If you
Yeah.
have a booth at Resinmania, just always be alert because you never know what's coming through.
Yeah, keep your display low budget.
Run that back.
This was so wild because I'm sitting there announcing, doing a dab. I turn around and I see a grown man flying through the air through a table.
Watch the legs on this table. They went all four directions. How does that even happen?
my God.
That's an explosion.
Gosh, that was so sick.
So sick. Look at Kevin.
That guy just picks that up. He walks.
I know, he just grabs his weed and he moves. That's all he grabs was the weed. He's like, all the matches, if you guys want to see that, you're going to have to watch Resin Mania, the movie, part 2.
That's gonna be a good one.
But for this recap, here's a little snippet from the main event. originally Zicky was supposed to be the 5th match of the night, not the main event, the 6th match. Zicky kept bitching that he wasn't going to come out and he wasn't going to wrestle unless we made him the main event because he said he makes us all the money. Zicky doesn't make us any fucking money. All he does is cost us money with his goddamn attitude and his shitty behavior.
I know. I keep having to change things up. Like
Everything.
production change. That's not free.
Zicky,
Cops.
yeah.
What the hell?
Zicky literally called the cops on us. That's one thing we didn't mention. He kept threatening to all week. Sure enough, during his match, cop shows up because Zicky's a fucking pussy,
I'm right.
to say the least.
Dude.
Smashed over Zicky's head. Some of them were bent completely in half. I think one got torn in half over Zicky's head.
Wash paddle, the pure and proper one.
Pure and paddle threw in a wash paddle. They said they actually got 2nd place with that wash paddle. Go whoop Zicky
Man.
Dice's ass with it.
Yep.
And
That's a competition
what they
paddle.
did. That's a competition used paddle.
You know.
Yeah. That's pure and proper.
And look at this is when it happens. These people are like, get the fuck up. What do you mean? All these stoners are like,
yeah,
grab
look,
my
they
Pelican.
paid good money for these chairs. Zicky Dice, the son of a bitch he is, just throws Sam Adonis into these chairs.
I couldn't believe what was happening. This was crazy. I was so hyped though, because dude, that's hard concrete. And that,
Boom. See, that's a chair somebody was just sitting in over his back. This is not a prop. Look at that. Sam Adonis, luckily, is a
He's a
beast.
beast.
A beast.
oh man,
This guy is huge
South
in real
of the
life.
border?
Yes, from Texas is where he is based out of Mount. Originally a Pittsburgh kid.
oh man, you know a lot of Pittsburgh guys.
It's crazy.
They come from
They come from around.
props to the Pittsburgh kids.
Look at this. Zicky Dice looking like a chicken in a 20-gal brute. Taking to his knees. Steel chair to the 20-gal brute.
Dude, those brutes are fucking tough. They don't flex
Look at that.
all. It
Yeah.
comes right off of them. Dude, they kept kicking out. It was a good fight.
I'm trying to find
Right through the bubble magics.
so that's Zicky Dice threw 2 bubble magics from the top rope. That is not a prop. Those are real bubble magics, award-winning bubble magics. But
Those are the ones you won that Masters of Resin with, right?
no, those are the ones Cannabis Chris got 8th place with from Masters of Rosin. So Cannabis Chris was so pissed off with those
The
machines.
ref got pulled out of the ring by that cop right there.
The cop. That's what happened. I forgot.
And then I got handed this 700 degree 0.8 by Nature's Lab. Thanks, bro. You ruined the rest of my night.
Yeah, that was a huge.
I just had the
Darby
glaze
Cook
afterwards.
ringside.
Oh wow, this is beautiful.
But that match turned into some bullshit because the cop interfered once again at the end. Zicky Dice
What a bastard.
took a cheap W. A very cheap W.
But a W is a W.
No, it's not really a W.
George
so what
W.
we're doing is
Oh, you're calling him out?
we're calling you out, Zicky Dice. You and all your bitch ass friends. You think you got what it takes to come in here and steal a match from us? You think you got what it takes to try to fucking
You think he can
throw
win this belt?
No.
You
He
think-
does, he's not worth
You
a
think
shot
he-
at this
No,
belt, but
I
he's
don't get it.
disrespecting the fucking belt by the way he treats this
I
promotion.
think Adonis could whoop his butt.
I think Adonis would probably whoop his ass if we did this again, but I think the difference is we're not going to do it in the backyard of LA where Zicky knows all the Americans, you know, he
We
can
can call
away.
the cops real quick.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to go to a place where he can't call the cops.
Where are we going?
Mexico City.
Mexico City.
Zicky Dice, we're calling you out, you little punk bitch. What you did in LA isn't going to fly south of the border, and Sam Adonis is no stranger to south of the border.
Yeah, you're gonna have to worry, amigo.
You are going to have to worry,
You're gonna be fucked,
amigo,
bro.
because you're not our hermano. You are a punta.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Zicky
Punto.
Dice. So if you think you got what it takes to try to get a shot at the belt, #1 contender match, First Blood versus Sam Adonis, October 12th, Mexico City.
Be there or be square.
He's already square. Nothing's going to change that. But Zicky Dice, if you want to save any type of respect you have for being a man,
Which you don't. You don't have any.
and you don't have any, you'll accept this challenge. And we'll see you south of the border. If you even fucking make it through customs, you dirty son of a bitch.
How do you say sticky zicky in Spanish?
El stico zico.
Fucking puto.
Fucking puto. Yeah.
So anyways, About these flavors, though, what do we got over here for our third dab?
We did 3, didn't we?
So what do we got here for our fourth dab?
You can choose. Yeah, let's just show off the belt. I don't have any footage of the championship match. You're gonna have to watch
The movie.
the movie for that. Coming
Resinmania
to
3.
YouTube. Resin Mania 3, but it's Resin Mania the movie 2. Fuck, that's gonna be confusing.
Coming to you.
We're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah. No, you're just gonna have to rename the other one.
This is the belt right here. If you want to see who won it, go check out the Resin Mania movie, and the belt's gonna be coming to Mexico because the champ's gonna be defending his belt, and it's
in
not
Mexico.
fucking Zicky Dice. Zicky Dice is in a first blood match if he so chooses. Sam Adonis already told us he's in.
Yeah, he needs to learn how to hold in a fucking dab before he can even be close to getting belt worthy.
Oh, here actually, I have a little bit of a.
Because we didn't finish what was going on. They said, ooh, there's a lot that they didn't see yet.
We did a contest for our favorite signs.
You know, little things to help the people out.
This was one of my favorite signs.
Yep. To all of you out there that are
Shout
Cold
out
starters.
SoCal Savages. Shout out at b.g.savage.
what will be written down there.
This is phenomenal.
This is great. The production value, straight to the point.
Really like what that one says. I think there's a lot of underlying meaning, and it's
The
beautiful.
craftsmanship that went into it, you could tell.
And it ain't easy. Fuck, we should have had Godfather sign that. Thank you to everybody that was a part of it. So many people. Pure and Proper, Sticker Plug, Dr. Dabber, all the vendors, all the food vendors, fire food vendors, all the
EWF.
wrestlers, EWF, the venue, Britt, Sam, Small Watch Sam holding down the booth, Declan, Mark held my dogs the whole time. Well, half.
Hey, he held down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not an easy job.
Not an
Dogs
easy
and wrestling, they're active.
Zeke doing the podcast.
Zeke,
Sarah pulling up.
Yeah.
Sarah pulled up. Tons of props. There would have been no bubble hash death match if it wasn't for Sarah.
That's true.
And it went to perfection except for Zicky fucking goddamn cheat to win. Son of a bitch. We're taking his ass to Mexico, Darby.
We're calling you out, Zicky Dice.
Zicky Dice, this is your final call out. You have 48 hours to respond, but this isn't going to upload for like a week or two. So I guess it's going to be two weeks plus 48
You
hours.
got some time, bro.
So Zicky Dice, you're going to have a little bit of time, but still we need an answer. Because we need to know.
If you're scared of Sam Adonis in Mexico City, cage match,
Just
so
blink.
you can't have so many
Blink
bullshit.
twice, Zicky Dice.
If you need help.
I think that's it. Did we cover everything?
Yeah. Let's name off some of these brands real quick.
All right, shout out some of these brands that Darby picked up from. We got the Moon Melts. This guy is from Colorado and making fire. I've known him for a few years, but he hasn't had a brand until recently. And
Go support the homie.
he was a pretty nice guy, and these eye-catching, really high-quality stuff. He won't put the brand on anything that's not fire. Moon Melts. Happy Hash Cat, some of my favorite branding. This guy kills it. Graham is a super chill dude. He likes to have fun, but he also likes to make fire hash while simultaneously having fun in the branding. Check this out. It's the not another GMO. He did it.
That's good.
And this one is the strawberries and cream. Bomb. Beachside Solventless. This guy is one of the nicest dudes ever. Super soft-spoken guy. Just loves to make fire hash, be a part of things, support the culture. Beachside. Mountain Man Melts. The homie Pat. Another Pennsylvania kid.
They're everywhere.
Another Pennsylvania boy moved out west to chase the dream, and chasing the dream he is. Mountain Man Melts. Some of the best single source hailing from out of Trinity County. Pure and Proper. Once again, some of the best shit you're ever going to have.
Another big
Nothing
shout
but
out.
the best. Pure and Proper. They came out of what seems like nowhere in the past like year or two, and they're just dominating. Master Ball Melts. This dude, like we said, was on thin ice. He almost fell through the ice, but we brought him back. Master Ball Melts. Young Simi coming through with some great boof. Super boof, great gas. Good terps, nothing but the best. But still, my balling in his brand. Gonna hit him with a cease and desist. Puffin, another cool ass dude. These guys are OGs. They've been around forever. Here we have some of the first wash Le Mans number 7.
That was loud.
And we have some Cap Junkie. Beautiful. Beautiful. Super chill dudes. Like these guys a lot. What is this
Nature's
one?
Lab.
This is Nature's Lab. This is cool packaging. I couldn't... it's the Krusty Burger with Babaku.
That's the growers.
That's the growers.
Yep, Babaku, Nature's Lab collab.
Crazy packaging.
Got a crazy looking Krusty. He's got some artists on tap right now that he's having fun with.
Fire. Resin Ranch, like we mentioned. A beast.
Killing it.
Swollen Heads Hash Co. Where's Tito? Hashtag Where's Tito?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Where's Tito? Where's he at? Here he is. Z Head. And as we mentioned and we dabbed, the Honey Bananas banana cooler was amazing.
That was fire.
It was a tremendous.
Thank you.
Z Head from Grateful Seeds. They're beasts.
You know that's a winner.
Grateful Seeds, some of the best. Sugar Mag.
Cool cats. Fire
Judge. I'm about to do a collab with him.
That one smells super fire. I picked that one out myself, and that one is just a special smell. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to the collab you guys do.
It's going to be a fire collab.
And our favorite,
Real deal.
love them.
There they are. There
Always
it
coming
is.
with the fire with the amazing event. Thank you so much for putting that on. Everyone that I was talking to the whole time was just felt super blessed to be a part of it. It was limited capacity, so everyone that got in knew that they were special, like you guys, Patreon.
Thanks, Patreon. But yeah, it was a great event. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody for coming out. All the hash makers, everybody that we couldn't get to. I couldn't go to any booth to do anything.
You were customer service the
I
whole
wanted
time.
to get a jar from everybody too. Thank you guys. I think that's it.
It was a great time.
Thanks, Resin Evolution, for supplying all the Bubble Hash Deathmatch props and the place to record it all.
Great.
Resin Evo, where the winners go. This has been another Hot Dabs Sessions episode. Resinmania 3 recap. If you want to see the full Resinmania 4 coming to Mexico City. But if you want to see the full recap, check out the movie coming to YouTube.
Dang.
All right. That's it.